All right, you guys. So, welcome back. We are looking at multiplying and dividing fractions. Okay. All right. So, I'm going to show you two different approaches. You are welcome to use whichever approach is comfortable to you. There's really no one way that you absolutely have to um, do the problem. So, you can pick whichever one you want. All right. So when we multiply fractions, we multiply across. Okay. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 9, and then I'm going to multiply 3 times 10. So if I do 2 times 9, that gives me 18. And if I do 3 times 10, that is 30. Okay. Well, these are numbers that are both divisible. Okay, so I could divide the top and the bottom by 2. So if I wasn't sure exactly how I needed to simplify my fractions, so 18 divided by 2 gives me 9, and 30 divided by 2 gives me 15. Well, actually, this fraction can be simplified as well. So I have to go all the way to simplest form, even if it takes me a couple of opportunities to do so. So I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. All right. So what I really should have done from the get-go was I should have divided by 6 because they're both divisible by 6. It's okay that I divided by 2 first and then 3. It doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get to the simplest form. All right. Now, here's how you could have approached it differently. Okay. You are allowed to simplify back here. Okay. And what I mean by that is that if there is any number in the numerator that can be divided by something in the denominator, you're allowed to do that, even if they're not lined up directly over each other. Because multiplication means you're multiplying across, so you actually could have changed the order. So if I look here and I look at 2, and then down here on the bottom I have 10, well, both of those numbers are divisible by 2. So if I had taken 2 and divided it by 2, I would have gotten 1. Notice how I crossed it out there. And if I take 10 and divide it by 2, I get 5. All right. And I could have done that over the top and the bottom directly if I wanted to. Well, if I look here, I look at 9 and I look at 3. Well, both of those numbers are divisible by 3. So if I multiply or divide, I'm sorry, if I take 3 and I divide by 3, I get 1. And if I take 9 divided by 3, I get 3. Okay. This was something that I was told was called cross canceling. Okay. But it's really, you're just canceling before you multiply. Now, if you look here, okay, so everything's been crossed out, but I'm left with this 1, a 3, a 1, and a 5. And if I multiply those, 1 times 3, I get 3. 1 times 5, I get 5. I got the same answer. Okay. So whichever one you like, okay? I have no preference, okay? All right. So if I look here, okay, if I multiply across, that's simple enough. Okay. So let's practice this other approach that I've just shown you. All right. Well, 5 over 7, I can't do anything with that. But if I look at 5 and 15, okay, both of those numbers are divisible by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay. All right. Now, 1, that's as simple as I can go. Now, 2 and 7 are not divisible by numbers that are in common. 2 and 3 are not divisible by numbers that are in common. And I don't consider 1 to be common. All right. So now I'm just going to multiply them with what's left. So 1 times 2, 2. 7 times 3, 21. And that is in simplest form because 2 is divisible by 2 and 1, and nothing there, 2 and 1, those do not divide 21. Okay? All right. So now let's look at our last problem, which is division. Okay? Division is super simple. Okay? But you have to rewrite the problem. Okay. And when you rewrite the problem, you are rewriting it so that it becomes a multiplication problem. So we're going to rewrite to a multiplication problem. All right. So 6 divided by 4 is going to stay. It remains unchanged. Okay. The division sign becomes a multiplication sign. Okay. And because you've done that, there is a reaction. Okay. This is an action. So there's going to be a reaction to that. And that reaction is I need to multiply by the reciprocal of the original one. Okay. The reciprocal, which is 12 over 5. Okay, that's the reciprocal. It's where you flip over the fraction. Okay, so I'm going to write down 12 over 5. Okay, all right. So now I'm just back to the problems we just started with. Okay, so nothing new. All right, so let's practice this cross canceling or this canceling approach that I just showed you. All right, 6. Okay, all right, so 6 and 4, those are divided by numbers that they have in common. I can divide by 2, okay? All right, or I can look over here at 12, okay? And 12, okay, is divisible by 4 as well, okay? I'm actually going to take the 12 in this case because 12 and 4 are divisible by 4. So that's going to get rid of this whole 4 and make it a 1. So I'm going to cross out the 12. When I divide it by 4, I get 3. When I divide by 4, I get 1. Okay. I wouldn't have gotten that if I had divided 6 and 4 by 2. Okay. I would have had to do another step. So I was trying to do some forward thinking. All right. So 6, now that I'm left with 6 or 3, those are not divisible by 5. So I'm not going to do anything. So now I'm just going to multiply across. So 6 times 3 is 18. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay. All right. Now on Delta Math, and I don't have Delta Math pulled up, but if for some reason Delta Math says that this value should be a mixed number, okay? Because right now it is a improper fraction. If it needs to be a mixed number, you're going to take 5, okay? You're going to divide into 18. So 5 goes into 18 3 times. So I get 15. It gives me a remainder of 3. So that means 3 becomes the whole number, and then remainder becomes the numerator. What I was dividing by becomes the denominator. And this is my mixed number. Okay? And make sure that if Delta Math asks you for a mixed number, that you pay attention to the directions on how to type that in. Okay? All right, you guys, if you have any questions, let me know. We're starting off easy, remember? We're trying to get you more comfortable with all the different platforms, okay, before we jump into stuff that is overly difficult and brand new, okay? All right, good luck.